Zephaniah, right? See what we can get out of this. See if we can get out of Zephaniah. See what we can get out of Zephaniah. Alright? Where are you at, Zephaniah? I see Zechariah, but I just seen Zephaniah. Just went past. Y'all bear with me for a second. My page is somehow sticking. Man. Alright. This is Zephaniah chapter 1. Verse damn, I just Alright, so let's jump. Let's go to Zephaniah. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 11. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 11. It says, "How ye the inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the inhabitants, for all the merchants people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." Now I read that again. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 11. It says, "How ye the inhabitants of Maktesh." Now, when you go into the history, Maktesh was a market to where they did trade. Okay? To where they did trading. It said, "For all the merchants people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." So, you guys amongst the Negro Latinos and Native Americans that's in the stock market, that's in the day trading, that invest in gold and in silver, that's not going to help you because of the system. The conditions on earth going to be so harsh that those items right there is not going to help you, man. The Heavenly Father is going to cut this place down because of his sins, okay? And having gold and silver is not going to help you. It'll get you only so far in this society. But when it's total chaos, right, and the Heavenly Father and his Son go ahead and completely cut Babylon off to where just total chaos, gold and silver ain't going to help you. Now, down in Arkansas, it was like a snowstorm. Now, me being me, I'm watching the people, right? So, today, what's today's date? Let me see something. When did that happen? Me being me, so I'm watching the people, right? So, today is the January 31st, Saturday, 2026, right? So, what was that? So Monday, January the 19th was Monday, right? Last Monday. So I'm seeing the people back then make moves in the grocery store. Now the storm didn't come until like Saturday. But I'm looking at Saturday, which is the 24th in January. So I'm looking, right, and monitoring the people. I'm just watching them, right? So it was Monday, January 26th, the 19th. Then Tuesday hit. It was the 20th. Now I'm seeing more and more people come out, right, on them days. Now, about time Friday hit, which is January 23rd, the stores was stripped. Okay? The stores were stripped. Now, you know that you got 3 days worth of food in them stores, right? So, about time the storm hit, which was Saturday, everybody was boxed in, snowed in, right? And then when the 26th came, right? The 26th and the 27th came, people was kind of like coming back out, but it was still a lot of snow around because down south, they not prepared for these situations. You know, they not prepared for these situations down south. So I'm monitoring the people. And now they slowly bringing things back out. Trucks are delivering. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when it's total chaos, man, and you think you're going to have gold and silver to go and trade and get what you need, it's going to be cutthroat season. Master P, which was a rapper, okay, a while ago, like in the 90s. He was a rapper in the 90s. And when I used to listen to rap, he said one thing that stuck with me, right? When people are robbing you, they got the mind state of, give me what you got, what you don't got, you can keep. And that always stuck with me. So, if you a person that got gold in this stock market crash and you got silver and you think you finna go out here and trade to get what you need, right? You got another thing coming. Because it's going to be open season on you. And the people are going to hurry up and get what they need, right? Because when I seen what I seen, I was monitoring the people, it was mainly older people that was doing it. The young people wasn't even studying it yet. It was mainly older people who was getting what they needed at first. And then I seen a lot of women out getting with no man. Okay? With no man. I seen a lot of women out getting what they need, but they ain't had no man though. So I'm monitoring all this. I'm monitoring people movements. I'm looking at all this. Okay? I'm looking at it in the spiritual sense. But you got people that's out here that's on a carnal level who monitor things like that. Okay? They monitor it. They see how you people moving. And Esau do this. Esau does it too. See how you people moving, man. Okay? So, I said that because you think, like I said, that since you got gold and silver, you think you're going to be able to move around and get what you need. You got another thing coming, man. You got another thing coming, man. So, I read this. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 11. How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchants people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. And that's what it's going to be. You're going to have it, but you're going to be cut off. Okay? And this system going to collapse. And guess what? When you try to go get what you need, it's going to be, give me what you got, what you don't got, you can keep. That's what it's going to be out here. Cutthroat season. And if you show your toes, people going to step on you. Okay? Concerning what you got. And you're going to be an easy target. And you women that's raising these young men that's 21, 23, you know, up in age 18, that ain't been taken by the draft when they come, and they gonna try to, and you gonna try to send them out to get things that you need, you gonna find out that your sons are ballerinas. Okay? You gonna find out that they are ballerinas to boot. And you're going to find out how weak they are, and they ain't going to come back. Because what's stopping these older guys from knocking the heads off these young boys, okay, these young men, is them going to jail. Once they lift that barrier to where they can get away with a crime, you youngsters gonna be fooled, okay? I'm talking about you 21, 22, 23, you gonna be fooled out here. So with that switch or that Cal-Tech with a drum on it, 100 round, you're gonna have older people laying down in the bushes with a sniper rifle, right? With a magnified scope on it, surveillancing the scene. And they gonna knock you off. And you ain't going back home to your mama. That's what it's gonna be. The only reason why these older people ain't knocking you youngsters off because they don't want to go to jail and they got a job and they got family. Once that's taken away, you're gonna find out these youngsters are ballerinas and they gonna be food out here. That's what it's gonna be. They're gonna be food to eat, literally, and to take. They're gonna be for the taking. And you women just through. You can throw your hands up. All you gonna do is, all what's coming to you is have your head down like somebody shooting. That's it. Because as soon as you get wrong, as soon as you say something, you out of here. That's what it's gonna be. The time's gonna get so severe and so rough, all that TikToking and dancing and all that, that's gonna be out the window, man. The Lord is gonna turn the heat up, and you're gonna have men out here with that skeletal spirit like the purge. And I ain't even talking about men that can't get their drugs and that's alcoholics. I ain't even mention them. It's gonna be a terrible deal. It's gonna be a terrible deal. It ain't gonna be no joke. So I said that to say this. You Negro Latinos and Native Americans that hear this truth, you better get in line with the Lord, because he the only one, YAHAWASHI, the only one that can save you. You lean on your own understanding, on your own power, you're going to lose. You're going to be fooled out here. And that's what it's going to be. And like I said, the only reason why these older heads ain't knock you youngsters off is because they got a job and they can go to jail and they trying to feed their family right now. Once that's taken away from them, you youngsters are done. You youngsters are done. You youngsters are done. Okay? All that loud talking, all what you gonna do, you gonna get mowed down. That's what it's gonna be. And that's the carnal side. Okay? That's the carnal side that's coming. You youngsters gonna be fooled out here. And you gonna be ballerinas. Okay? That's the only thing that's stopping these older men from knocking you youngsters off. You're going to need YAHAWASHI to protect you. That's what it's going to be. Okay? So, when they start losing their money, and they see they can't move like they want to, and make trade like they want to get the food that they want to, man, these people are going to become animals. That's what it's going to be, man. They're going to become animals. So, this is, let's go to James. See if we can get out of this. We jumping. Alright. What's this doing in here? I don't need that. Alright, this is James. This is James chapter 5, verse 1. Because Mactesh was dealing with Israel, right? And dealing with how Israel was making money. And you do got Negro Latinos and Native Americans making money in their trade. They trade in the stock market. They making money. But the Heavenly Father's going to cut them off. He's going to cut them off because of their sins. He's going to cut them off because they living in this world and thinking that they're going to have a safety net by getting money. The safety net is YAHAWASHI. So he's going to cut them off. So, and he gonna get Esau. That's why I'm finna read this. This is James chapter 5, verse 1. It says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. For the miseries, let me read that again. This is James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Verse 2, your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten. Now, if a garment is eaten by a moth, it's worthless. You can't use it. So, That's what the Heavenly Father and His Son is saying through James. The riches that you got ain't going to be able to deliver you. It's worthless. Talking about Esau, Edom. Okay? You're going to lose everything. It says, verse 3, your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh, and eat your flesh as it were fire. So it's gonna consume you. By you having that gold and that silver and them riches, you still gonna get consumed. It's not gonna help you, right? Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days, and that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. You have gotten rich for this last time. That's it. You ain't gonna get rich no more. When the Heavenly Father and His Son crashed that stock market to where you gotta go digital to try to save your world, this is the last time, man. You ain't getting rich no more. It's over with. This your last run. And whoever joined with Esau, Edom in this system gonna fall right with them, trusting in this system. Right? So I read that again, start from the top. This is James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Verse 2. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten. Verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh, and it as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. And that's it. You ain't getting rich no more. This is your last time for you Edomites, you top elites, to get rich. That's it. It's over with. After the Heavenly Father judged this place. So let's jump. Let's go to Ezekiel. See what we can get out of that. Let's see what Ezekiel's speaking on. Right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7. See what Ezekiel got to say concerning these conditions. Right? That's coming up on the earth. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 12. It says, the time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, neither the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The reason why it's talking like that, because it's going to be robbing left and right. That's why Ezekiel's speaking like that. You people moving around that got gold and silver, you're going to be getting robbed left and right. Left and right. You ain't going to be able to move like that. Okay? Like you see people moving around and going and buying stuff in the store, you ain't going to be able to move like that. Even if the government and the military ration you stuff, it's still going to get took. Okay? Verse 14. Salaki. Verse 13. It says, verse 13. For the seller shall not return to that which he is sold, although they were yet alive, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. So that sin that's upon you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's gonna cause you to not be protected. That's gonna cause you to not strengthen yourself in riches and the resources that you got, because it's gonna be taken. Okay? You're gonna lose everything. Still, even though you got it, it's gonna come a point in time to where these spirits out here is gonna be in a state of mind of, give me what you got, what you don't got, you can keep. That's what it's gonna be. And only the strong gonna survive. That's what it's going to be. And when I say only the strong gonna survive, what I mean by that is the ones who trust in YAHAWASHI. Everybody else is out of there. Okay? This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 12. For the time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. Verse 13. For the seller shall not return to that which is sold. Okay? You're going to lose it. What you traded for, what you use that gold to get and that silver to get, the resources, it's over with. It's going to get took. Okay? Although they were yet alive, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. So you're not going to be strong. You're not going to have them resources. Okay? It's going to get took from you. And it's going to be cutthroat season out here. So that's what Ezekiel is speaking on. Because that's what's coming. In its economic collapse. That's what's coming. So let's see what we can get out of this. We going to 2nd Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, right? The 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues. That's America. So he gonna hit America, is known as spiritual Egypt. So he gonna hit America with plagues, diseases, and famines, and a mentally deranged beast mind state. Because that's a plague. Mentally deranged beast mind state. So the people gonna be plagued in their mind just like a bird box spirit. Okay? Just like that movie Bird Box, that's the spirit they gonna have on them. Delusional. And straight chaotic mentally. Okay? It says this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that YAHAWASHI shall bring upon it. So it's going to be a famine. Okay? It's going to be a shortage of food. Right? Verse 13. They shall till the ground, shall mourn, for their seed shall not fall through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. So it's going to be a famine. Okay? The Heavenly Father is going to use Esau, Edom, to cause the famine. And over the years, the elements, okay, the tornadoes, the floods have disrupted the farming. So it's going to trickle down to where the people are not going to have enough food. So it's going to be a shortage of food. Right? Because that's the judgment of YAHAWASHI that's going to come upon the earth. It says, verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and the swords in their hand. So that's dealing with the whole world at war, and that's dealing with the war in the neighborhoods where you stay at in these states. Okay? The whole world gonna be in chaos. Okay? That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna spin to. The whole world gonna be in chaos. Okay? It says, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. So you got gold, you got resources, it's going to get took. Just like I was reading in Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 12 to 13, just like I was reading. Okay? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So they gonna control it, the situation. There's people that's on the left-hand side that the Heavenly Father gonna use that's destined to fulfill that particular lot. They gonna use a modern day weapon, which is a gun, and they ain't gonna show no mercy and listen to no government, no nothing. It's gonna be all out chaos. Okay? That's what it's gonna be. It says, verse 17, it said, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Martial law, full scale, lockdown. Okay? And when the people get besieged in them particular cities and it's a shortage of food, oh yeah, you gonna get invaded. Your neighbor gonna invade you. You got a woman that look nice, they gonna put you to death and she gonna be for sale. They gonna grape her and she gonna be for sale. That's what it's gonna be. She look nice, they gonna monitor her and take what you got, man. And if she don't go and get along with it, they gonna put her to death. That's what it's gonna be. A world of chaos. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 13. For because of the pride, the city shall be troubled. Thinking you can do what you want to do and move around like you want to move around. Lockdown. Over with. Okay? And the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So, what are women going to be at? He said the men going to be afraid. What are women going to be at? Out of there. Okay? Verse 18. For because of the pride of the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, the gun, and spoiling their goods because of the lack of bread, famine, and for great tribulation. That's what it's going to be. Give me what you got, what you don't got, you can keep. Right? And if you make any sudden move, you out of here. You're going to the upper room, which means the Heavenly Father and His Son. That's where you going. You're going to meet the Maker. And that's how these people going to be thinking, man. That's how they going to be thinking. It's going to be total chaos out here. And the Heavenly Father and His Son going to allow it. Because this earth is wicked. It's straight up wicked. Right? It's straight up wicked, and it got to happen. It got to happen. So, going back to Matthew, this is Matthew chapter 24. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse, let me see something. Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. Because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So the iniquity of this world concerning having love for their brother and their sister, right, is going to be out the window, man. It's going to be out the window. And as the Bible tells you to love your neighbor, amongst you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, be brotherly, be, care about your sister because the woman is a weaker vessel. Ain't nobody gonna listen to these scriptures like that. Ain't nobody gonna pay attention to the scriptures. They ain't gonna care. All right? They in survival mode. They ain't gonna care about nobody talking about, well, God says I'm a Christian. You know how the world speak. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. That's gonna be out of there. Ain't nobody gonna hear that. Okay? But Heavenly Father, true name is Yahawah, and his son name is YAHAWASHI. But like I was saying, speaking as the people speak in the world, ain't nobody gonna believe in these scriptures like that. Ain't nobody gonna be showing love like that. Talking about love thy neighbor, forgive and forget. They gonna unload on you and take what you got. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. It's gonna be over with, man. Total chaos, man. That's going to be the mind state of the people, and that's what's going to be on the earth. And the Heavenly Father and the Son are going to allow it to happen. And meanwhile, Esau, Edom going to be coming down on you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans so tough, you're going to be begging for mercy, but it ain't going to come. The Heavenly Father and His Son only hear the cries of the elect of the nation of Israel. The rest of you people out of there. Okay? So, let's jump. And because the love of many shall wax cold, them not understanding the Heavenly Father and the nature of them and the attributes of them, how you supposed to love your brother and your sister. Well, this is how the Heavenly Father, amongst you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, this is how the Heavenly Father is going to view you, just like a heathen. This is 2nd Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter... This is 2nd Ezra, chapter, let's see, 8. It's like it. Verse 50. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 58. And said in their hearts that there is no God, meaning Yahweh Shem Shai, yea, and that knowing they must die. So, by you not believing in the Heavenly Father's word and having love towards your brother and your sister, you saying that the Heavenly Father don't exist. So the Heavenly Father and His Son looking at you like a heathen and saying you must die because of that. And that's what it's going to end up being. Okay? That's what it's going to end up being amongst you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You're going to end up dying in Babylon. It's America. Okay? That's what it's going to be. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 58. And said in their hearts, meaning their minds, that there is no God, meaning Yahweh Shem Shai. So if you're saying that, that means His word is none and void. You ain't got to believe in it. You ain't got to do what it say. Right? Yea, and that knowing that they must die. That's it. So, I got to make a run real quick. So, I'll be back. So,